Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for you for this week ahead. That's this week starting Wednesday the 14th of December through till Tuesday the 20th of December. Oh, I think we've got someone wants to come and say hello today. If she'll turn around. Ah, she's heavy. Here she is, Miss Puss. And she's come to listen to the guidance for this week, I think. Maybe for now. So I trust you're well, and I trust this message, this video finds you well. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Wednesday the 14th of December here. And it's exactly 11:54 a.m. 11:54 a.m. So if you're new to watching, welcome. My intention and my plan for this next 15, 20, 30 minutes, depends how long I can talk without coughing and sniffling, because I've got allergies up at the moment that I'm just taming. I will be pulling cards from my deck here. This is my combined deck. I've got Speed of Light Oracle cards in here and the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, and they've been combined. There is 55 cards of each deck here in my hand, so 110 cards, and I'm looking for the best cards for this week ahead. As I said, the 14th to the 20th of December 2022. I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I suggest that you take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily. Really the things that make sense to you, that feel personal to you. I encourage you to pay more attention to those, and the things that don't resonate or don't make sense to you, please let them go, because they're likely guidance for somebody else. So I'm going to start shuffling the cards now, and I'm going to lay the cards out beside me in a moment, and we'll see what we might have in store for this week. So our theme last week was the lamb, and the lamb reminded us to be light-hearted or to lighten up. Things did get a bit serious, didn't they, over this last week? So I think the message of lamb was quite important, although probably we forgot about it at times when things were quite intense and serious and complicated and agitated. There was a lot of agitation around too this last week, it seemed. So we start a new reading week now. So let's see what wants to come up for our week. So I'm looking for the best cards for the majority of us for this coming week, the 14th till the 20th of December 2022. And I trust the best cards will find their way to the top of the deck based on the way I choose my cards. So the best cards for this week are these. And I'm just going to lay my cards out here. So just bear with me a moment. And I'm just laying them face down. Okay, so we've got 6 and then 1 in the middle. We've got 5, so I've got 7. Yeah, 5 Speed of Light and 2 Animal Kingdom Oracle. So, okay. Okay, let's turn these guys over and see what we've got. We've got one featured card, the Turtle Dreaming. So it has further instructions here, which say to take the bottom card from the deck. So that's easy. Let's see. It's the elephant. Okay, so we've got quite a few cards here. Okay, the cat, I think, wants to sit on the cards. There we go. Okay, so starting the week. Okay, starting the week, this is really not surprising. It's the Shapeshifter card, card 36, and it's called Shadow. It says Shape-shifting, Hidden, Release, and Raven. This is almost like the dark night of the soul. Some of us have kind of dropped into quite a dark space over this last few days. Really, even in this last week, where we may have had some really great things happen, but also felt really alone, really in quite a dark space as we've been journeying our way through whatever we've been going through personally. So I did actually just talk about this in the current energy report that I've just sent out about this sort of dark night of the soul, or this dark part of the soul that a lot of us are hopefully coming out of now, but some of us may still be in that space. And this is very much highlighting that shadowy, darker sort of energy that's been hanging around. It's brought with it a lot of restlessness and quite a bit of agitation and frustration, and in some ways to aggression has also come on the back of, or come with this dark energy that some of us have sort of been swept up in, I guess. The interesting thing about this card too is it's highlighting that the energy is shifting. So it's shifting out as we move out of that dark part, as we move out of the shadows, and as we move out of that sort of agitated, frustrated, angry kind of energy that's been quite raw and ripe at various times over these past days, these days past. So this card is suggesting that it's present, but it's also suggesting that it's changing. So the light is coming into the darkness. Things are shifting if we allow them to shift, because we can hold ourselves in that anger and that frustration and why did this happen, or why did this person do this to me? We can keep ourselves feeling angry for a very long time if that's what we choose. So I feel it's important to feel that rawness of anger. It's just an emotion. It's a very strong emotion. And see if we can release it or work with it in a constructive way. We don't want to be harmful or destructive to ourselves or others with that energy. But if we can feel it and release it in a constructive way, it allows that anger and that agitative, that fiery energy to move. And this has been really important, to not sit and hover in the anger and really let it pass, let it resolve, let the light come in, and let those shadowy energies that have been sort of coming around, that stormy energy, letting that pass. So some of us may have been feeling a bit battered by the storms, by this stormy energy that's been around. So we're sort of having to try and keep our balance, keep ourselves upright, and work our way through the storm and whatever this shadowy energy has personally been for us and how that's been represented. So the energy is shifting on that. I'm already feeling it moving the last probably day or two. For some of us, maybe for you, it's still hovering. So just be careful you're not holding it in place. What we might find we need to do too, this is also for Wednesday, the 14th of December, is the Delegate card. It's card 28. And it says, ask, plan, organise and assistance. This is basically about the pressure that we may feel that we're under at this time. And really not just for Wednesday, it could be for the last few weeks, it could be even for the days or weeks to follow. But if you've been feeling like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, or you're feeling really pressured right now, then this is really important to sort of face and come to terms with, but also manage and deal with as quickly as possible. So we're not feeling like the weight is getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and then we become overwhelmed and things can then tend to fall apart, or we can tend to move into that sort of breakdown space. So if you're feeling like you're under pressure, what we've been encouraged to do, especially around Wednesdays, to really look at what we feel under pressure by. So what is the source of this pressure? Is it coming from someone else? Is it coming from work? Is it coming from expectations put onto us? Is this pressure coming from our own expectations or our own standards, or the pressure that we're putting on ourselves? So where is this pressure coming from, and what can we do about it? In some instances, according to this card, we may need to delegate chores or tasks to other people. You know, we can't do everything on our own. So there might be some things that we can spread the load with, if that's applicable to this situation for you. For some of us, we just need to sort of take a break and just draw that line in the sand, even if it's just for a temporary period, and then get back to it later. For some of us, we may need to get a bit more organised and manage our time a little better. So the pressure we're under may be just one of those one-off temporary things where everything's just happening now. And that's sort of one of those things where we just need to sort of ride the wave, if you like, and know that it's temporary. And hopefully next week or whenever the date arrives that we may be anticipating that's coming up, that we know that this busy, pressured time's going to be over. So sometimes we've just got to ride the wave. We've just got to weather the storm and find those pockets of time where we can rejuvenate or replenish ourselves or catch up on rest. But looking at that pressure may be important for some of us. So that's also for Wednesday. So really important at this time. Okay, so then we move to Thursday, the 15th of December. Thursday, we have these two cards. They've come up together for a reason, and we're going to look at them separately. Then we'll look at their relationship together. So we have Turtle Dreaming, card 45, and it says serious, clarification, concentrate, and specific. So basically this card, this turtle, he's got attitude and he wants us to get serious about something. So what do we need to get serious about? For some of us, it might be our dreams. He's carrying this dream catcher on his back. So some of us may need or may be really considering how we can get more serious about our dreams or more serious about our goals over this next, let's say, 6 to 12 months or further. Are there things we need to get serious about now? Maybe we've been putting things off for a while and maybe the time has come, a crunch time in some ways, where we may need to proceed. We may need to get serious now and take the action that we've been putting off. Also, it may be connected with this card for some of us. It's card 7, the elephant, and the elephant says family commitments. So this is highlighting our family, the family energy, the commitments that we have with our family. If there's a family member in our family who's weakened at the moment with whatever they might have going on, then we may need to gather around that person and support them as best as we can. There is this sense here of the matriarch. There is a sense too of plodding along and pacing ourselves and taking our time in some ways, but going the distance. That feels more like the long distance rather than the sprint, the marathon rather than the short distance sprinting race. So some of us may be inspired, especially on Thursday, to get serious about something about the family. So is it a family gathering maybe you're preparing for? Maybe there's something happening in the family that needs your attention and you've been putting it off. So what do you need to get serious about with the family? Moving to Friday, and the energy's shifting here. So Friday the 16th of December, we have the butterfly. Hi everyone. It's card 6 and it says hearts opening, freedom, passion, and action. So this is about opening our heart, and it feels like by the time we get to Friday, we might feel quite a shift in energy compared to the heavy energy that we've been kind of dragging our feet in for this last week or so in general, where we may feel like we're trudging through the mud and it's every step feels like it's difficult in some ways, like it takes a lot of effort to get things done at the moment. So it feels like by the time we get to Friday, as we move out of that shadowy energy too, and that agitation and angry sort of energy that's been sort of stirring up, that storm that's sort of been around us, it feels like by the time we get to Friday that there's a potential lightening of the energy, like the storm's passing. Maybe we see the light at the end of the tunnel and we're moving towards that quite quickly, quite swiftly. I want to use that word. And by the time we get to Friday, we might feel quite open in our heart. There's a dreamy state to this card, so we might feel like our dreams are activated again or our dreams are alive again. We might feel awakened again. I don't know about you, but except for last night, I've had like several sleepless nights in a row while I've been trying to deal with these allergies. And things have been really heavy. And it's been really sleepy, but not sleeping much. It's really weird. So there is this feeling here, like by the time we get to Friday, that some of us will feel like we're awakening again, like we're awake again. Whereas some of us have probably been feeling quite sleepy, but not really sleeping much at the same time. It's sort of weird energy. So this awakening, this opening of the heart, there's a sense of action too on Friday as we move forward, trusting in that pull and that guidance from our heart. On Saturday, the 17th of December, we have the Chameleon, card 3, and it says to give it your full attention. So this is focus. So focus is going to be really important on Saturday. We may also need to kind of camouflage ourselves in some ways. It may be applicable for some of us that we need to blend in a little bit with the surroundings or with the people that we're with rather than stepping out and, it's interesting. There just feels to be like a stepping back and blending in a bit. So if we were in a choir, for example, the choir is about the singing is about the choir, not about, unless there's one vocalist that's sort of soloing or something, doesn't tend to be about one person. So there is this sense of, instead of being like the soloist, to step back and be a part of the choir. So there might be something that we're facing on Saturday or doing that requires us to sort of blend in a little bit and stay focused. So that feels important for Saturday. Sunday we have the stepping in card. Sunday the 18th, card 16, stepping in. It says solo commitment, test, allow, and flow. This is really exciting actually, because it means that we're ready on some level to make a commitment, a personal commitment to something. It could be a commitment to change, a commitment to something new, a commitment to a new hobby, or even just this realization that we're ready for something now. Maybe we've been preparing for a while, but we haven't really truly been ready, like on a mental level. So it feels like this new commitment, something we're ready to commit to on Sunday. It could be committing to breaking a habit, for example. It could be committing to some big change or some small change or whatever it is. But it feels like this commitment is, it's like a personal contract that we're making with ourselves, that we're making this commitment. I now commit to this. I commit to that. I'm going to follow through with this. So it's no longer just something we speak of or think about, but it's something that we're now agreeing to with ourselves, that we are going to make this commitment. We're going to make this effort, that this is something that we're serious about proceeding with. Could be a relationship too, maybe a commitment in a relationship that we're ready to take to the next level. But it feels very personal. We might be waiting on other people to commit with us, but ultimately this card is about our ability to commit on ourselves. So a solo commitment, something that we need to commit to, whether there are other people involved or not. Are you ready to commit to this thing that is coming up for, that's under question or under spotlight, especially around the weekend or lately, that you have been maybe wondering, should I commit to this? Should I proceed with this? Is this something I want to do? So these kinds of questions may have been rolling around in the back of your head, maybe for a little while. And by the time we get to Sunday, it feels like some of us are ready to make this commitment. And this feels important. It's like almost like a contract that we're making with ourselves, that we are ready, we are prepared to put the effort in, and we're ready to proceed with this. Okay, Monday and Tuesday we're going to bundle in together. Monday the 19th, Tuesday the 20th, we have this very exciting card. Card 1, the Stallion. And the Stallion says to untie yourself. So this comes off the back of the commitment that we make. So once we are ready to make the commitment, the personal commitment, I am ready to dedicate more time to this. I'm ready to commit to this relationship. I'm ready to step forward into this new beginning. Whatever it is, I'm ready to break this habit. Whatever we commit to is going to, feels like open up something within us, because something opens up. And this Stallion is very much about this wild, free energy, this wild, free spirit that wants to be freed. It's card 1, the Stallion. It says untie yourself. So have you been feeling tamed? Have you been feeling limited? Have you been feeling held back? The Stallion is about untying yourself now in regards to perhaps some of your commitments, your old ones that have expired, or maybe your new commitment gives you a sense of freedom, a freedom to run, explore, to set your wild spirit free. So what does your wild spirit want? And how can you potentially commit to that in some way in your life? Maybe making time for something that's important to you. So there is something very energetic, there's a lot of movement and action in this card as well. So once we make that commitment, it's like we bolt from the stables, like we're a wild horse or a wild stallion. We bolt from the stables and we commit to that journey and we take the action. We run wild and free. So very interesting energy around, and I can feel this very much aligns with what I've been feeling. And I feel like this tail end of this stormy, muddy energy, this aggro energy is moving on. So let's allow that to move so we can let the sun come out and the rainbow shine on what would the best words be? This shift or this adjustment that wants to come forward in our life. So the other cards for this week, I'm going to pull the theme card in just a moment. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. If you're watching on Facebook, please hit the follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, Temple of Balance on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. If you miss these videos, if you haven't seen one for ages and you think that I haven't been here, I have. So please come and check directly to find the videos and the posts that I'm putting up every day on Facebook and regularly on YouTube. You'll also find them on my website if Facebook's playing tricks with you. So we've got a few things coming up. First of all, on Friday, that's this Friday, the 16th of December, is my next card reading club. It's online and we're going to be playing with our cards and focusing on the theme of closure. And also on the same day, but later in the day, my time, Australian time, is my next online art class. And we're also going to be focusing on our theme of closure. So closing up 2022 and any residual energy from the past is our prime focus to help us start 2023 nice and fresh and refreshed. So if you would love to join in for either or both of those, please have a look on my website. They will not be available after Friday, which may be Thursday your time, because Australia's maybe a bit ahead of you if you're in a different part of the world. So check it out, please, if you want to be a part of it. If you can't join live, both of them are recorded for those who do register, but they won't be available after the date. Also, my next solstice gathering, which happens every 6 months for my Pillar of Light members and my patrons, is happening on Thursday, the 22nd of December. We're going to be doing a solstice ceremony. So that's free if you're a member. So please have a look. And if you are a member, keep an eye out for the link for that, probably tomorrow or the next day, the direct login details. So if you'd like to learn more about me, my cards, or anything I do here at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Okay, yes, the card club is suitable for beginners, absolutely. So anybody is welcome. In fact, the art class is suitable for beginners as well. Thanks for sharing, Glenda. Okay, let's look for our best theme card. The theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for this week, starting Wednesday, the 14th of December through till the 20th of December 2022. And the theme card is this Speed of Light Oracle cards. It's this. Oh, this is nice. Card 5, Sacred Haven. It says gratitude, connect, reflect, and stand still. This week we're being encouraged to stop and count our blessings, to stop and smell the roses, and stop and look and notice the things that are working in our life, the people that are there for us. Instead of sometimes putting too much weight or too much attention on the people that aren't there for us, or the things that aren't working for us, the things that aren't in good flow. Sometimes we spend too much time focusing on those things. And I think it's good to focus to a degree so we can resolve issues that we might have. But I think to be too, I guess it's been too pessimistic, maybe looking at the glass half empty and things being miserable and missing and not working, to do that too often, that really puts us in it draws the energy down, doesn't it, to that glass half empty kind of attitude instead of the glass half full. So how has your attitude been lately? Have you been noticing things that are good for you, that are working, the people that are there? Or have you been spending too much time feeling miserable about what's not working or what's not happening or who's not there? So you can turn that around by focusing on the things that are working, by focusing on gratitude and appreciation, by allowing yourself to just stop every now and then and just take a couple of big deep breaths and feel that gratitude of just being able to breathe right now. There are a lot of people that we know and love who aren't and who can't breathe right now, who are not here. And I think that this is something really fundamental to appreciate, that we are here alive and breathing now. And this is something to really appreciate about, how precious life really is. Something not to take for granted, because we know life is precious, it's precarious. So if you need reminding, just stop, take some big deep breaths and feel that gratitude for your breath. You're breathing right now. Look at the things around you, the people around you, and what you do have. If you have a roof over your head, that's something to be grateful for. If you have food on the table and warm clothes to wear, that is something to be grateful for. So there's a lot to appreciate, and we might find if we can have that attitude this week, then that will help us move out of that heavier, stormy, muddy, angry energy, fiery energy too. So that we can move into that lighter energy that wants to move us forward. So Sacred Haven, which is basically gratitude, stopping and counting our blessings this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great week. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating. And I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Take care of yourself and goodbye for now. Thank you.